Well, hello there, everyone. We are back in Beverly Hills, the capital of all things rich and famous. I, of course, am neither one of those things, and yet somehow I find myself up here pretty regularly, not on any kind of celebrity Hollywood tour, but for a variety of reasons. And over the past couple of years, one of those reasons has been to come up here just south of the Platinum Triangle that's behind me, you know, with Rodeo and Beverly Drive and all the fancy shops, and take a look behind the scenes of the movies, not by visiting sets or filming locations like I would normally want to do, but by visiting auction houses, because of course auctions, prop auctions, have become very big business in recent years. I don't know why it took until the 21st century, but apparently now even Hollywood has figured out that there is some value to the physical remnants, the props, the behind the scenes stuff, the scripts, the artwork, behind the making of so many people's favorite TV shows, movies. And although I don't have Beverly Hills money to be buying up film props, I do enjoy taking a look at them, which is why every time I'm invited to check out stuff that's coming up for auction, I try to strike at the opportunity. And so we're going down on the other side of the Platinum Triangle now, back over to Heritage Auctions to see, hopefully, some amazing stuff. There it is, one of the top auction houses in the world, or at least the LA branch of one of the top auction houses in the world. We came here to check out a couple of Disney auctions. Last time I was here, it was the Cecil B. DeMille collection. And this time, fittingly, since it's almost October, I believe we're here to see stuff from the Guillermo del Toro collection. Oh my gosh, this room transforms so much every time I see it, and it is full of Guillermo del Toro's stuff. Look at this right here. It's Hellboy's trench coat. This is amazing. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of Guillermo del Toro stuff in here from his own films. So the provenance is like unquestionable. You know for sure you are looking at the original trench coat from the film. I can see cases full of Hellboy stuff over here. But right away, right when you walk in the front door, bam, there's Hellboy's jacket. And look at this. It's Rasputin's jacket right here, or cloak, or I don't know what you call this here, robe. And this is amazing. Like, to me, I don't even notice this stuff when I'm watching it on TV at home or whatever. Look at the embroidery, the brocade. Look at the fabric right there. Look how richly detailed. I was just thinking, like, how much would that cost to make for yourself? The level of detail is insane. Unlike previous times I've been here, apparently everything we're gonna see in this room today came straight from Guillermo del Toro, either from his films or from his personal collection. And I guess we might as well start at the beginning with these display cases right inside the front door. Like, look at this. This is the original Drew Struzan artwork for Hellboy. And there's more than one poster in here, but we got this side open right now. Look at that, is incredible. This is so amazing, looking close and seeing all those pencil lines. Drew Struzan, obviously famous for Star Wars art, Indiana Jones, just so many classic epic movie posters. Look here at the other one. This is so incredible. I don't blame Guillermo for keeping these. I would keep these too. This is so cool. Oh, look at this. There's also a ton of concept artwork for the film itself, the props, the costumes. Look at this. It's not just Hellboy Part 1. We've got Golden Army props in here. This giant hand, from what I understand, was created just for one shot, just for some crazy forced perspective action. In fact, it was created just for this shot with the golden egg. They've got it right there. They got it framed up for you to see. This is amazing. But look at all the concept artwork in here. These are all original pieces. That is amazing. Oh, and look at this, starting from the bottom of the next case up. Look at all these original production used pieces, especially the weapons. These are incredible. Prince Nauda's screen used hero spear. There's the final piece of the crown right there, the centerpiece, if you will. There's the little dagger there in the back. There is so much going on in these cases. Like, look at these. These are amazing. It's interesting that some are metal, some are like those hero actually made of metal pieces, and the other ones getting up really close to him. Like, you couldn't tell on camera in the movie. You can see that they're made out of other stuff, either wood or foam or something like that. It's amazing the way it works though, because just standing back a few feet, it looks so real. And then here's some more concept artwork right here for Samael, or Samael, the bringer of doom. For most people, that's their mother-in-law. Oh, and then here we have Ron Perlman as Hellboy's bullets right there. Dude, look at all of those bullets. They're huge. Like, those are some big bullets. And then this right here This is very special. Look at this. It's Hellboy's big baby. And I've just been told I might be allowed to touch it. Oh my gosh. I'm holding big baby. Look at this. It's got the big baby artwork on both sides. This is lighter than I was expecting, and yet still heavy, like very heavy. You gotta hold this thing with two hands. Holding it with one hand, Hellboy style, not as easy as it looks. Ron Perlman must be freaking strong. Oh my gosh, that was so special. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Heritage, you guys are the best. That was so cool. This is so awesome. Look at Nuada's sword down here, right below Big Baby. Look at the scabbard right there. Like, look how much detail. The thing about Guillermo del Toro that I really like is that everything he does, he's building like the most crazy, insane, detailed, realistic world. It feels like when they did Lord of the Rings or Tolkien movies. Speaking of world building, that opening scene from part 2 with all the lore, these are the puppets from that scene. And I don't know how well it translates to a camera, but standing here I can tell you, these things are so detailed, like the craftsmanship is insane. This is amazing. Just down below, some of those puppets. Look at all of this storyboard artwork. You've got the script right here with Guillermo's personal post-it notes in there. Some of this concept artwork. I mean, this is insane. Oh, and then next door to that, another Drew Struzan original. I mean, how freaking cool is that right there? I mean, it's amazing. And Drew Struzan just influenced movie poster art for all time. Dude, look at this. King Balor and Princess Nuala. I always get Nuala mixed up. Look at the puppets right here. They are incredible. See how close we can get. Sorry if there's any shakiness. I get very nervous when they open display cabinets like this for me. I feel like the alarm is going to go off. And any second, someone's going to be like, get out of here. You're from Anaheim. Speaking of Hellboy 2, the Golden Army, this is a scanning maquette, right? So that little guy that goes, hey, they went this way, that way, this way. They build these models of the creatures, and then they'll 3D scan them and use them as the basis for the CGI model that you see in the film. And I love that because it adds like such a deeper sense of realism. Here we have some Hellboy, Dark Horse Comics artwork right here. So cool. Oh, and some more concept artwork by Mike Mignola. This one's really cool. The limb vendor in that marketplace scene. He walks by so briefly in the film, selling extra limbs for the people who have lost them, has this giant hand on his back. So look at that. You gotta imagine Guillermo del Toro keeping this in his house. And as a friend of mine just said in here a minute ago, like maybe staring at that thing and then coming up with, I should do Pinocchio. I mean, how sick is that? Look at all the artwork on the walls. And even if the artwork is untied to the productions in here, all the artwork you're gonna see in the background is all from his personal collection. Okay, that is a sick Grim Reaper. That would be a sick tattoo for somebody. Somebody screenshot that and get that tatted on your face. Oh, there he is, the limb vendor. Look at him right there, that giant hand on his back. From concept artwork to physical reality. Okay, now this is cool, and as far as I can tell, the only piece of its kind in this collection, right here, this is a UV bomb from Blade 2. Anybody remember Wesley Snipes? Blade? Come on, dude, those movies were awesome. The OG Marvel movies. And look at this. I've never seen this one, but this is from 1992 from Kronos. From what I understand, the only prop in this particular auction from that movie. But if you are a Del Toro fan, you'll know exactly what that is. Dude, Pacific Rim, Kaiju, concept illustrations. Here we got Knife Head. Man, I wish I could draw. Oh, look at this. We got some storyboard art from Blade 2 right here. Some more Mike Mignola original artwork. And then look at this, flanking the display case. You've got the screen-used Raven Guard costumes. And at first, I thought they maybe made these mannequins to put the costume pieces on, but those are actually the torsos used in the film. So somebody had to get inside of this suit, and just looking at it, I cannot imagine how hot it would be inside of there. The crazy thing is, these are going in the auction, so whoever buys these, theoretically, could put them on and greet trick-or-treaters with them. It's just so insane, the level of detail. The little skulls here, the leather straps, the materials, everything. Part of the reason I like coming to these things, even though I don't very often even try to bid, is that you can get so up close and get a much different and a much better understanding of what some of these pieces actually look like in the flesh or in the foam rubber. Okay, before I move on to any more display cases, I gotta address the elephant in the room. Look at the Pacific Rim escape pod, the Gypsy Danger. This thing is absolutely massive. So cool looking to have the actual practical prop in here. Again, flanked by screen-used costumes, and these things are amazing. One of the things I liked about Pacific Rim were these kind of costumes right here. I mean, they just remind me of Halo or any number of like cool video game costumes, like taking the whole concept of stormtrooper armor up to the next level. So that one on the right, that's Charlie Hunnam's suit over there, which is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to think that Jax right here from Sam Crow was wearing that suit. And then over here, we've got the black Jaeger dive suit. Now, it's not one of those movies that I have memorized like I do the first couple of Star Wars or something like that, but I cannot believe how impressive these costumes are. I just want to wear that and walk around, you know? Actually, maybe I shouldn't say wear, but I was out at a dinner 2 nights ago and saw Dr. Peter Weller, the original RoboCop. It'd be kind of sick if they rebooted RoboCop and gave him a suit like this. The way they can make these suits now, so incredible. No longer bulky and crazy and plastic looking. I mean, these things, these are insane. Okay, hard to pull myself away. We got to move on. This whole case right here is full of maquettes. Again, scanning maquettes. They could get them all CGI of the amphibian man from The Shape of Water. We've got this screen-used sign right here. I think it's pretty cool that Guillermo del Toro capped this. And then just multiple evolutions of the creature. These 3 that we just looked at, these are more concept maquettes. But this guy on the left, he is the one. Look at that. You can even see the little dots on there for sort of the scanning, the motion capture, whatever you want to call it. That is so freaking cool. I was just telling someone in here, I was kind of bummed when he did this movie, because after seeing the creature, you're just like, how good would a Guillermo del Toro Creature from the Black Lagoon movie have looked if he had done that instead? Either way, great film, amazing creature. Hard to believe that's the original right there. That's what they scanned in to make the film, and somebody's gonna walk away with this thing. All right, getting back into Pacific Rim, we have some concept artwork, but speaking of maquettes, look at these kaiju maquettes right here. There are so many like Godzilla collectors, kaiju collectors, which kaiju is basically like giant monsters, a Japanese term. You can only imagine that these are going to cause a bidding war in the upcoming auction, which, by the way, is happening like right now, Friday, September 26th. So these are things that are being offered to the public like imminently. Here you have one of the spines, you know, for the suits here, and its little case. So like screen used animated props from Pacific Rim. You can see all the cables and stuff back there for actually working the prop itself. It's like one of these things right there, the little suitcase for it. That is so sick. Oh, and speaking of cables, I just noticed these little cables right here on the suit itself. Just thought I'd look at the other one while I was at it. It's like little details that you never notice. And then here we go. Here's where you can see Guillermo has interest beyond his own films. A little bit of Harry Potter concept artwork right there. And then above it, check that out. That is the original artwork for the Meatloaf Dead Ringer album cover. That is so cool. The tag here says Bernie Wrightson. I almost would have thought that it was a Frazetta painting or something like that. Look at how sick that is. Freaking Meatloaf. I never knew Guillermo del Toro was a big Meatloaf fan. And I guess I should have known because he was going to make that Haunted Mansion movie. He's also a big Disney fan because these are original Ivan Earl pieces. Ivan Earl, one of Disney's like most fantastic artists. He's sort of the conceptual designer behind the look of Sleeping Beauty, famously, that Disney movie. And then speaking of Bernie Wrightson, look at this amazing original drawing right here. Original inked drawing of Frankenstein's monster. Like the original, you know, Mary Shelley, Frankenstein's monster. And then down here, look at this one right here. Same thing. little bit of Frankenstein artwork. This is incredible. I was just told, you see all these tiny lines right here, that if he messes up one line, he crumples it up and starts over. I can't see any pencil lines. I cannot understand how anyone could create artwork like that. I'm getting nervous just leaning in that close. Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm just looking right now. The current bid on the monster, $200,000. So we are looking at a piece of world-class art right there. I believe these were book illustrations, like plate illustrations, which is why they're drawn in that style. You know, like when you look at old books and see old plate engravings to illustrate, you know, I don't know, Tom Sawyer or something like that. That's amazing. Okay, I know it's kind of hard to see, but here are some other art pieces that he's collected over the years. They're all fantastic. Well, one in particular really caught my attention. That is an original frame from Gertie the Dinosaur, 1914, one of the earliest animated films of all time. I mean, it's predating cell animation. That is just drawn on paper. That is incredible. And also tiny. Wasn't expecting it to be so small. I mean, that thing is way smaller than my foot. Granted, I have big feet, size 14, but still, wasn't expecting it to be so tiny. Dude, and then look at this. Speaking of historic animation drawings, right here you have original concept illustrations from The Nightmare Before Christmas. That is out of control. I cannot even imagine owning something like that. Okay, and now these items, in this case right here, are all Pan's Labyrinth items, which was my first encounter with good old Guillermo. And that movie, I had no idea what to expect. But when I walked out of the theater, I remember just thinking, what just happened to me? It's like I was transported into another world. It was like the first time I ever watched Star Wars or The Empire Strikes Back or something. I mean, basically until Lord of the Rings, I felt like that was a Star Wars exclusive thing, to be wrapped up in an immersive world like that. But more and more filmmakers are taking a page out of the old Lucas book, or I would say the Tolkien book, and creating these really immersive worlds. And it's interesting to see the kind of stuff that Guillermo del Toro keeps to sort of get his imagination going and create these immersive worlds. Look at that. He's holding the big baby right there. See, look at the size of that thing. Speaking of which, we'll jump ahead here. There's even too many things in this building to show you every single one, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. I believe there's over 100 items in the collection that are being auctioned off, but this item is especially special. That is an original H.R. Giger painting. His paintings influenced some of the greatest movies in cinema history. Alien, for example, the design of the alien is pretty much straight out of Giger right here. But also, he had a huge influence on one of my favorite films of all time, 1989, Tim Burton Batman. Specifically when it came to designing the Batmobile, I heard that Giger was a huge influence on that. Not that you can really see it one-to-one, but this is amazing. I've never seen an original before. It's just hanging in here, just hanging out. Now this right here, sitting in front of the Giger, is a trio of screen-used props from what is one of my favorite, probably my favorite Guillermo del Toro movie, which is Crimson Peak. One of the most underrated, if not the most underrated, haunted house movies ever made. Look at this. You got the little, what's it? It says graphophone. I was going to say gramophone right there. You got the slide projector down here. And then check that out. The freaking Crimson Ghost right there. Feels so weird getting up this close and really looking these ghouls in the eyes. You could almost kiss her, except I don't think that's allowed. Dude, that is so freaking awesome. Look at the pink scream over here on the wall. Here you got some vampire makeup from The Strain right here. And all these props are so, it makes me want to watch all the different projects I haven't seen. And then there's this amazing wall right here full of concept artwork for Pan's Labyrinth, like storyboards, set design, concept sketches. I know some of them are hard to see. If you want a better look at any of this stuff, actually you can just go to I think it's ha.com, the Heritage Auction website, where I think you can also do your bidding and stuff like that. That sounds ominous. Do thy bidding on ha.com. Like, look at this amazing piece of concept artwork right here. They usually have them, you know, high-res photos of them. You can zoom in, check all that out. Like Pan's Labyrinth itself, you know. get a zoom on it. And of course, they also have all that stuff in their catalog. So if you're a big fan like me, but you really don't have enough money to do a lot of bidding, especially when it comes to like Disney auctions, for sure, I love getting the catalogs for them, just as an artist and just being interested in history, because there's so many like glossy high-res photos and stuff like that, amazing descriptions. There's a lot more information. So Guillermo del Toro has a couple of houses, and I think they're colloquially all called Bleak House. That's why it's the Bleak House Collection Volume 1. And famously, one of the LA fires got very close to one of his houses. It was full of all kinds of film collectibles and all kinds of historical pieces. And like any good collector, from the smallest like me to the biggest like himself, Guillermo del Toro knows that collecting isn't just about having stuff, it's about being the caretaker for the next generation and the next generation and the next generation, you know? Or as he puts it himself right here, collecting is protecting a sacred duty, being a keeper of a flame, an acolyte. And so by splitting up some of his collection and sending these to different private homes or whoever buys them, it's not just about making money from your collection, it's about ensuring that the collection is sort of scattered apart and saved in that way and enjoyed by more and more people for generations to come. Look at this. It's like an old Ray Harryhausen model kit. Guillermo del Toro built himself. So he's a monster kid, man, a classic monster kid. Oh, also there was another interesting piece in the collection, this automaton right here that del Toro had made. When it's on, the head like has a motion detector. It'll follow you across the room. And let's say this was in the living room, you can take a little microphone out of it, put it through a hole in the wall, and from another room, make him talk. Hello. Hello. Good morning. I'm here. I have no idea why my first thought was Pee Wee Herman, but there you go. Dude, this was so awesome. Huge shout out to Heritage for opening up the doors on this random day, because I missed the official preview night, for letting us come in and take a sneak peek. September 26th, that's when all this stuff goes up for auction, but I believe you can bid right now at ha.com. Go fight some kaiju in your new suit, go guard some ravens, or just get yourself a piece of artwork. One thing I like about these auctions is when there are big collections like this, a lot of times in the actual auction itself, not in the sort of preview where they put out all the money beats, there'll be cool stuff that's pretty affordable, like production notes or little sketches and drawings. So definitely check it out, because you never know what kind of deals you can get. And I think classically Heritage is known that most things start for $1 in their auctions, so everybody's got a chance, at least in theory. Okay, that was unexpectedly awesome. I mean, I knew we were going to see some awesome things. I just didn't know we were going to see so many of them. Speaking of Beverly Hills over here, I'm actually supposed to have dinner up this way with a friend of mine that's staying up here. In the meantime, I think I might be able to sneak in one more stop before we quit for the evening. By the way, this is bizarre. Right across from Pavilions right here, which has a basement, by the way. Don't ask me how I know. There's this weird little like monument in this island here. Oh, robot car! Driverless automatons. I've seen this every time I come to Heritage. Look at the film strip up here on this kind of magic wand deal, but then it looks like there's almost like some kind of pioneer style people, but there's a guy with a sword. Always wondered what in the world this monument was for. Turns out it's a monument to celebrities, in tribute to those celebrities of the motion picture industry who worked so valiantly for the preservation of Beverly Hills as a separate municipality. So these are the people who worked hard to separate Beverly Hills from Los Angeles proper. Got a bunch of city council people down here, but specifically the celebrities are Mary Pickford on the front. Who is this here? It's Will Rogers. Okay, that's what I thought. This one I can't tell who it is, but it says Glorious Betsy as one of the films this guy was in. Here we have Rudolph Valentino in Four Horsemen. So it's not just the celebrity, but also like a character they played in one of their films. This one, director of Ben-Hur. Tom Mix, famous Western actor in Hard Boil. So I like that they actually picked like one of their films. And then here's Harold Lloyd in Why Worry? And then on the side, the guy with the sword, that's no pioneer, that's Douglas Fairbanks in The Iron Mask. So weird, so cool. Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks right on the front. It's interesting, I'd never noticed that before. All right, let's go back and find my car, shall we? I would have brought the van, except when I have to go to dinner later, I gotta park in a parking garage. And I didn't think it would fit, didn't know for sure, so I grabbed Allie's car real quick. Those of you who are not from California and you're like, whoa, he's in Beverly Hills. Yes, a lot of rich and famous people live work, or maybe they'll have their lawyer offices here or production offices and stuff like that. But usually the number one question I'll get from out-of-staters like, oh, you ever see famous people? It's like, I've seen the Jonas Brothers here. I've seen Peter Weller, like I was just telling you, RoboCop, but otherwise not that many. Like some of my friends, like we went to this restaurant, we saw Gene Simmons. It never happens to me. It's also one of those things that like, it happens every once in a while. I'll see somebody super famous, usually at Disneyland or something like that. And then I'll like forget. It's like not that important to me, so I always forget. I've seen like Vince Vaughn down there and just different people. Just not enough of a celebrity chaser, I guess. Plus I don't know who anybody is. Like people always like, that's so-and-so. And I'm like, really, Tom Dill Thomas? Wow. Beverly Hills, Century City. Everything looks nice and pretty. See, I've got about an hour before I have to meet up with a friend of mine, so hoping to put this hour to good use and check out something on LA's Route 66 I've never seen before. All right, there it is right there. CineFile Video. Over 30,000 movies not found on the internet, according to their claims. Supposedly, this is one of the best video stores in LA. I had never even heard of it before until the other day. Robot sighting. When Shout Factory, you know, like the DVD, Blu-ray company, posted something like a little video store highlight, and it's right up here, pretty near to where I have to go tonight, so I might as well pop in and check it out. I like this. I like the artwork on the outside. You got all our flying VHS tapes. They're little angels. They got a Blockbuster sign right over the archway here, and there it is. 30,000 movies you can't find online. Let's check it out. Holy cow. Dude, this is rad. So many movies. I was just told they do rent these movies. This is their rental stock. The days of video rentals aren't dead after all. This is amazing. Like the subcategories. Oh, no way. No way. A ripoffs of the Lost Ark section. They have got even drugs. You got t-shirts in here, vinyl records, CDs. This is amazing, dude. This place rules. Hammer Frankenstein. Oh, dude, awesome. Dude, this place is so awesome. It's one of those places that doesn't just have a little bit of everything. They have a little bit of everything. And just like the good old days, the employees are sitting in there watching Short Circuit. There are so many old school movie posters and memorabilia all over the walls. They got those rental shelves everywhere. There's t-shirts. There's everything. It was hard to even know where to look. I was so overwhelmed by all the choices, all the variety in here. There's even shelves outside of used DVDs for sale. Robot sighting number 2. Of course, I couldn't leave without getting a few little treats. I held Hellboy's gun today. Bought myself some BVDs, as Steve Brule would put it. Here, I'll show you what I got. I'm just trying to patch some holes in my physical media collection. Used cars from the makers of Back to the Future. I think if I've ever seen this, I've only seen this once many years ago when I could rent it from Blockbuster still. The Mummy's Shroud. Never had this on physical media. Classic. Wolfman, or The Wolfman. I've never seen this particular one. I'll give it a whirl. Then I'm a big Charles Dickens fan, so I saw this copy of Great Expectations. I'd never seen it before. It's $5. Why not? And then The Alligator People with Lon Chaney. Never seen that. Last but not least, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Bring that home for Allie. She loves Jimmy Stewart. For $3.99. The price was right, and within my budget currently. This has been a dark time for a lot of people for a lot of reasons, including myself. You know, my cousins were in that accident. Happy to report one is out of the hospital now with new metal rods in his spine. The other one's also had his surgery for the same reason and trying to make it out of the hospital. So that's good. They're alive. They can feel their feet. They can move their feet. I've got my own looming surgeries and doctor stuff. It's just been a lot of craziness lately, you know? And that ain't even the half of it for me. And we're not even talking about all the crazy stuff that's in the news and everything. So it's just been a wild, weird time. Are we under like a full moon, a perma full moon, or what's going on? Anyway, when times are stressful, it's nice to have a little entertainment to put on and a little distraction. Santa Monica Boulevard, Route 66. Definitely not a normal adventure today, but at least it sort of contributes to our ongoing Route 66 saga in a weird way. Now we've come full circle back to the beginning of the Labyrinth, the famous Beverly Hills sign in the park over here. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. I had no idea what we were going to see or what we were going to be doing. Hopefully Guillermo del Toro does some more of these auctions in the future because he's working on a Frankenstein movie right now. Frankenstein is my favorite thing. I hope his interpretation is worthy. I'm sure it will be. But in the meantime, I've got nothing left to say. Make sure to check out the links down below. Everything's at randomland.com. I got hot sauce coming at you soon. All kinds of Halloween merch is coming. A sick new pin that looks like this, and a sick new shirt that looks like this coming up for pre-order. But also our Patreon link is there. Our merch store, you can get a hat like that. Everything's over at randomland.com. And having said that, I have now completed the mission. I've done my duty.
Time to go home and
Sleep well. Okay, I'm scared.
You want me to take it? Yeah.